So I've had a few questions recently about the style of cuff I wear on my jacket sleeves. In this video, I'll be telling you all about them and why I think they're a style signifier. A jacket turn-back cuff, often called a gauntlet cuff, is an additional strip of cloth that has been applied to the edge of the sleeve, slightly curved. Sometimes it finishes on the inside seam, sometimes it tapers in, but more often than not, the way I have them made is it goes all the way around. I first became aware of this style probably in the early 90s when I was working in menswear, and I was talking to a guy about going to the V&A museum. So I went to the V&A and had this beautiful suit from, I think, the late 1940s, which they refer to as a new Edwardian suit. So it was quite high buttoning, quite slim trousers, but the detail I found fascinating was this cuff on the sleeves. Having done some research, the style was very much part of the post-war in England of what we called the new Edwardian look. It was upper class guards officers looking back to the pre-war era of the Edwardian era, when England was a slightly different place economically than we were perhaps in the late 40s and 50s. So it was kind of a very pro-British, pro-Savile Row English look. The look you probably recognise with people like Bunny Roger, with those very lean fitted suits, the curly brim bowler hat, the tightly furred umbrella, the sort of like the archetypal English gentleman look. And you'd often see the turn back cuff with that. This style, again, from a fashion point of view, went through to the 60s, and you see it on certain versions of mod tailoring, often. And of course the Teddy Boys. The Teddy Boys were the working class reaction to the new Edwardian look with their velvet collars, and you'd often see cuffs on their jackets in velvet. Early Bond films, although in the books, the Ian Fleming novels, Bond character is slightly rude about somebody having gauntlet cuffs on his own suit. On his early dinner suits, you often saw a turn-back cuff. Now on a dinner suit, you often make it in the facing cloth, which I think is very elegant. And then through to the 80s, the Gordon Gekko character, one of the things he has in it, which is less publicised certainly at the time, was in one of the suits he wears. He wears a brown suit with a very deep turn-back cuff on it. Old school tailoring. Viewers of this channel probably know I wear them on my suits. I sometimes put them on a blazer. For my own personal customers, I give my own personal style advice, is if you like them, wear them, but I never encourage somebody to wear them. I think it's one of those things that if you think it looks smart and you like the look of it, go for it. But if you're not comfortable with this look, it wouldn't work for you. Typically, I find it's very popular for evening wear. So if you've got a beautiful shawl collar dinner suit, the rounded gauntlet cuff really complements it. So most of my personal customers and most of my previous bespoke customers would have it for their evening suits, and it's not so popular for sort of sports jackets, blazers and lounge suits. If I see somebody with a cuff, I see it as a style signifier, because it's somebody who probably enjoys their clothes, is into their clothing, because it's a subtle detail. Most people do not notice little details. They'll see a guy in a suit and think it was a guy in a suit, it's quite conservative, but then you notice the small details like the turn-back cuffs that show that they're interested in style and have an appreciation of tailoring. Usually, it means that the suit was at least made to measure, if not bespoke. However, I'm going to share something with you, they're not that difficult to apply. If you have a good alteration tailor, and as you know I'm a champion of the alteration tailor, you can use some extra cloth, often from the trousers, to have one applied. So if you like the style and you want to experiment with it, you don't necessarily have to put it on a bespoke suit, which is a bit of a jump. You can always try it on a ready-made suit. So I wear gauntlet cuff jackets for formal wear, I wear them on blazers, and I wear them on sports jackets. So I wear them with all sorts of degree of formality. Now, I think they look particularly smart with a double cuff because it draws attention to the wrist area, although today I'm wearing a button cuff, a bit sportier. I also really enjoy wearing a gauntlet cuff shirt, a turn-back cuff shirt, when I've got a jacket with a gauntlet cuff on it, because it's doubly archaic and it's quite a fun touch. But again, it's not something I'd recommend to people, but if you enjoy it, why not? Well, I hope this answers your question, and if you never asked the question, I hope you found it interesting anyway. As always, please put your comments below. I'd be really interested if any of you wear cuffs on your jacket sleeves. And as always, don't forget to subscribe.